Let's hear from the Ministry of Finance now. John Kumah, Dr. John Kumah, that is a Deputy Minister of Finance. Honorable, you're welcome to Eyewitness News. First of all, confirm for us if the presentation is tomorrow or is on Thursday. We are seeing conflicting reports.
Yes, Sandra. Greetings to Prof. Bobkins and your listeners. In fact, to be honest, I am unable to confirm whether it's tomorrow or Thursday. We are ready if it's tomorrow, but I also keep getting conflicting readiness from Parliament. Yeah.
Okay, so Parliament hasn't confirmed that you can come tomorrow.
Yes, but we are ready. We keep getting the conflicting report of tomorrow or Thursday. So unfortunately, I'm unable to say tomorrow or Thursday.
I see. So
unless we hear officially from Parliament.
Okay,
but we are ready.
Oh, so you are going to be ready tomorrow and you're going to be ready Thursday. When Parliament says yes, come in and speak, you come in and speak.
Exactly.
All right. What are you going to tell Ghanaians? An inkling into the key issues, not necessarily the full review,
yes.
but what are some of the things we should expect?
Yes, thank you very much. It's a mid-year, so obviously we are going to tell Ghanaians about what has happened to the economy from the beginning of this year, from January to middle of this year. And of course, the major event that has happened is the IMF program that we got a board approval, and then how the economy has fared, and then the outlook for the rest of the year. Of course, if you're in an IMF program, it means that you should be going through some fiscal consolidation and debt restructuring, and then some contractionary fiscal policies. But the good news is that the first quarter of this year has seen unexpected high growth of 4.2%. Of course, even though we have been successful with the fiscal consolidation effort under the fund program so far. So we are going to stick to the objective of ensuring that we achieve the fiscal consolidation and, of course, the debt restraint and the structural reforms that we need to do, while at the same time having a growth strategy that will ensure that the economy doesn't contract, that we keep, growing it in order to create jobs and opportunities for the youth as well. So this is going to be the main focus.
So you make a lot of technical and statements there. The economy will not contract, physical space and all of that. To the ordinary person in Ejisu, what does that mean? What is the government seeking to do tomorrow or Thursday?
Okay, thank you. Let me break it down to the ordinary language. So what I've been trying to say is that what we have done the whole year is to try and manage the economy in a way that we don't spend more than we have. We have to make sure that we don't spend more money than we are able to collect within the system. So that is called fiscal consolidation. And then also the debt that we owe, we should be able to bring it down to sustainable levels. And that is also another objective under the program. I heard Professor Bobkin talking about the GDP growth may not necessarily reflect support to the vulnerable in the economy, and that is very important. One of the key objectives of this IMF program is to ensure support inclusive growth. It means that the poor, the vulnerable have to be taken good care of. So if you have seen in the 2023 budget, government made extra allocation for school feeding program. We have increased the grant to the caterers and also the numbers. We have increased the numbers of beneficiaries under LEAP. We increased the amount from 45 Ghana cedis to 90 Ghana cedis and increased the number from 250,000 beneficiaries to 450,000 beneficiaries. So all these are indications that government is focusing on the poor and the vulnerable. NHIS payment goes on time so that when the people are sick and the poor are sick and they go to the hospital, they can also enjoy the health insurance scheme, capitation grant. So all these are part of the program to ensure that we are not just talking figures, but we are also protecting the most vulnerable in the society. So yes, in the midst of all this reduced expenditures, Government has to make sure that when the 20-year-old boy in Ejoso wants to start his business, the private sector, he's able to have his investments done and create jobs and opportunities for other people. So basically, this is what we are trying to do. We want to be able to achieve growth in the midst of this fiscal constraints that we find ourselves.
The issue that comes up is the expenditure and how you should reduce it. I've seen your boss, the minister, being quoted as saying that the free SHS policy, he's defending the policy essentially, and no need for repeal, or there will be no repeal. Many think that if you want to cut down on expenditure, the free SHS, which is a huge elephant consuming so much, should be one of the areas you should consider, since you cannot do anything about the salaries of workers.
It's not true that free SHS is a huge elephant in the room. If you have seen the data, in the 2023 budget, free SHS allocation was 2.9 billion. And the entire appropriation for the year was 228 billion. So, you cannot tell me if you are spending 2.9 billion out of 228 billion is the elephant in the room. No. And then this is covering over 1.3 million Ghanaian children. The impact and benefits of the free SHS, of course, like Professor Bobkin said, it goes to the core of the vulnerable and, of course, the future of human resource of our country. And for me, that is non-negotiable. The elephant in the room, we all know, is our debt interest payment. It was 56 billion allocation we made. And, of course, through the DDEP, the IMF program, we are able to now bring that down. And in the mid-year budget, you hear the good news of how much savings government has made on expenditures. The elephant in the room, of course, is compensation. This year, even though we budgeted 45 billion in the budget, I believe the labor negotiation resulted in about 30% extra incentives to work.
But those are areas you cannot touch. So that's why I was saying that these are areas, even though they are huge or humongous, you cannot touch them. So you can't touch the wage bill.
Yes,
you cannot
touch it.
You cannot
that
touch.
Is what we have. We
you
have
cannot touch the debt.
But you can
the DDEP. But you can touch the free SHS.
No, you can't touch it. I mean, it's not negotiable. I mean, so why can't you touch 56 billion, but you can make savings from 2.9 billion? That is not economical.
I see. You're also going to account to the representatives of the people how you have done in the collection of revenue and how you intend to utilize that revenue. How are we looking on that side of things?
Yes, fantastic. On the revenue front, we have an overall revenue reduction of about 10 billion, which came from the oil sector. Two factors happened in the course of the year. The oil price last year was $82. It's now dropped to $74. And the quantity of production on our oil fields have also declined. So we had a shortfall of about 10 billion. But the non-oil sector, which is handled by GRA, has been exceeded. And the Honorable Minister will put the figure out so that tomorrow or Thursday, when the mid-year budget is read, GRA has been more than on target for the budget estimated target that we gave to GRA. So on the non-oil sector, Ghana is doing well in terms of revenue collection. It is the oil sector that, but even in the oil sector, Ghana has found new blocks and we've started new production. And so the outlook is also positive, and we believe we'll be able to maximize our revenue projections for the year.
Now, your government is popular for talking about nuisance taxes. Why do I still have to pay for COVID-19 levy?
Okay, so let me say two things on COVID-19 levy. First of all, COVID-19 levy will expire by 2024 by law. I mean, from the bill that creates the law that created it. Secondly, even though COVID-19 is gone, its negative fiscal impact on the economy are still with us, and we are still managing the situation. So we will need to bear with government for a while. We know the deep shortfalls in revenues of about 12.9 billion in 2020. That government had to go through borrowing to make up the extra expenditures of about 14.6 billion. This is in 2020 when COVID came. And, all these expenditure gap were done by borrowing funds from external and internal sources to meet it. And so government, over the past 2 years, has been working to recover some of these money through these taxes to be able to pay the huge fiscal hole that was created as a result of COVID-19. So in good time, even though COVID-19 is no more a pandemic, its negative economic impact on our finances are still with us. And we will need a little while to address that problem.
Thank you for speaking to us. We'll keep an eye on the House of Parliament to see if you're going tomorrow or Thursday. Whichever be the case, we'll report to our public. Thank you.
Regards to your listeners.